Hello guys, very welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Angelica and today I wanted to do a video that I sit down and show you some dupes of palettes that I really want right now. And yeah, I don't need any more palettes, but I'm not on a low buy or a no buy because in my latest haul I bought like 15 palettes. So I don't know, that maybe that's why I need to dupe out some palettes right now, because I don't need more. But I just think these kinds of videos are really fun to watch, and I am really inspired right now with like dupe videos. So I wanted to do one on my own, like my own dupes. So all these palettes is palettes that I don't have, that I want to dupe out with palettes I have in my collection, except one palette I'm gonna dupe out. I actually have it here, and the palette I'm duping it out with is the one I have as well. But yeah, we will come to that. So let's get started. I'm gonna scooch so we can have like a picture up here. And I have filmed this look, by the way. It's already up, and I used the BH Cosmetics Trendy in Tokyo. It's just a very cute rainbow palette. I've done one palette, 2 looks, and some swatches and review of that palette. So go and check that out after this video, of course. But let's get started. Let's get started with the first palette, and it's from Beauté. And I was so excited when I did see this. Let me see here. This is the Nostalgia palette. Oh my god, this is my kind of color story. It is like purple, pink, yellow, oranges, golds, browns. It has a lot, but I really like the vibe of this palette. But then I thought, I have something that actually looks like this, and it is actually 2 palettes, but both of them are from Pinky Rose, and I immediately thought about this palette, this Obsessed palette from Pinky Rose. So this is how it looks, and I hope you can see. Maybe I should like scooch a little bit more so you can see like the picture. This looks a lot like that palette. Well, we don't have every shade here, but we do have like these yellows, we have the oranges, we have a red, we have the bright pink, we have some brown, some golds, and this shade looks like one shade in that palette, and you have like this one. I mean, all these looks kind of that palette. You have a little bit of everything. And then I thought about the 80s baby from Pinky Rose as well. So if we just open this up, and this actually has the shades that this one don't have. So you have like the purples here, and you also have this yellow, and you also have this red and some gold. So I'm just gonna put these together so you can see them all together, how they look, because I really think with both of these together, I feel like we kind of have that palette. Don't you think? I mean, look at this. When I see this, I don't need that Beauté palette, and that was so good because I was really close to buying that one. But I'm gonna play with these now because these are really nice, and they are really, I mean, they have a really nice quality, and they have a really interesting color story. So yeah, I'm super excited to actually pull this out and use them. So next palette I have to dupe out is the Natasha Denona Bronze palette. And this is a palette I wouldn't get, but I just saw, I'm gonna give a credit to Jen Phillips. I don't know if I pronounced that right. I will leave her video down below. I have been obsessed watching her because she dupes out a lot of palettes and does a lot of fun content. But anyways, so I will give her like the credit for this dupe, but I have the palette that she duped it out with. And it is the California Love from ColourPop. I love this palette. This is a neutral, like warm brown gold palette, but I love this palette. I have used it so much, and this is insane. Like this shade is insane. I'm just gonna have to swatch this. I mean, look at that. And she actually had this one and the Natasha Denona one. So she really swatched them like together, like close together. And she could dupe out 9 shades. 9 shades. And how many shades are these? 9 shades out of 12 shades. That's pretty good. And they were so spot on. They were so similar with the Natasha Denona one. And yeah, I was just super impressed with that. As I said, I really, really love this one. And it has a lot of nice, you know, dark browns, warm browns, some orange, more these like transition shades, and you have some bronzy shades over here. And yeah, this is just a really nice quality. And I know she said in that video she actually prefers this one because she really likes the Colourpop formula, and I really love the Colourpop formula as well. So I just think, yeah, this is so much cheaper than the Natasha Denona one. But you know, if you love Natasha Denona, you probably will get that bronze palette. But for me, I'm happy with just having this one in my collection. And then we have the 3 new mini palettes from Juvia's Place, and I wasn't planning to pick them up anyways, but they are new and I want to dupe them like with the things I have in my collection, and maybe things you have in your collection. Maybe you have the same palettes that I have that I'm gonna dupe them out with. But they have 3 new mini palettes, and we have the mauves, sweet pinks, and the taupes. Taupes. Yeah, oh my god. So let's start with the mauves. So I'm gonna like leave pictures with swatches. By the way, some of these pictures are from Trend Mood, and I will link that Instagram down below as well. But anyways, let's just start with the mauves. And yeah, I was just thinking, you know, this actually looks like I have this one. This from Suva Beauty, the Rose Period, and this is how it looks. And if you take a look, I mean, you have a lot of these mauves. And when you look at the swatches from that Juvia's Place, I'm gonna like swatch some of these here as well, so you can see. But I just thought it looked kind of, if you just take this one out, you can see it is a quite mauvey, purpley palette that actually looks really similar to the shades in the Juvia's Place. So I mean, you have like this one, for example, like a very, I have like swatches from the other shades, but yeah, you have this one and you have this matte as well. Maybe it will not show good like that. And you also have, let me see here, a little more deeper shade that they had in that palette as well, like that. And then they have like a very light one, so I'm just gonna swatch it. I mean, you have a very light shimmer as well here, so I mean, like that. And then you have like a more purpley matte as well, just like so. But I just think these are kind of like the same vibe here. And yeah, in this palette you also have like other shimmers. Maybe this one I can swatch for you. I mean, this is a very, very nice palette. It's more like a purpley one, but you have these tones and I really, really like it. I mean, yeah, I feel like I can get like the same vibe here with this palette, so I don't need like another palette for that. So yeah, and then we have the Sweet Pinks palette, and I immediately thought about this one, the Ooh La La palette. I mean, here you have a lot of pink shades. So you have this sandbar that is really, really bright and pink. That is a beautiful like matte. And then you also have this Big Sugar. This is a shimmer. And I also think this one is pretty. Like you have these bright pinks, but also I thought about the Deuce palette from Juvia's Place, and maybe you don't think about this when you think about pinks, but I do, because they have a lot of nice pinks here. So you have this one, and this is the creme, and let me swatch that here. I mean, here you have kind of that shade in that palette, I would say, like really like a bright pink, but kind of a little more muted as well. And then you have a really like almost like a fuchsia one, because it looks like you have a really deep one as well. So you have this one. That is stunning. And then you have these beautiful shades here, like for instance this one and this one. These two shimmers are also like pinks. I mean, look at these are stunning. And so you have kind of like the same vibe with these in these two palettes. And yeah, and in this one you also have really nice, I mean, you have this poodle on this softcore and this one as well. So I mean, yeah, I just feel like pinks, I have a lot of pinks, but yeah, this is kind of the vibe of that palette, I would say. So yeah, now I start to get really stained here, but let's just move on. So let's take the last palette from this like bundle, maybe it's not a bundle, but you know, from this collection, the Taupes. And I thought about this one. This is also a mini palette. This is from I Heart Revolution, and this is the Black Pearl. And this is how it looks. You have a lot of these kinds of shades that the mini palette from Juvia has. I mean, this one, like a very taupey light color. I really like this one. I hope you can see it. And then you have a slightly darker one as well. And you also have that in the Juvia's. And then you have another of these taupey ones, a little more deeper one, like a mix between these two that I feel like. And then you have like a bright silver, what do you say, like a blinding silver here. This is like crazy, this silver. This palette is so good. And yeah, what else can I swatch here? Like, yeah, maybe like another shimmer. This one though has a little more of a lavender shift to it, but yeah, I mean, look at these. And then you actually have a really dark one. I mean, look at that, if you want to deepen things up. So yeah, look at this. I don't need that taupey mini palette because I feel like I have these colors in this mini palette. I mean, as I said, I really like the quality. These kind of mattes are not like, they are creamy mattes. I don't know. They have a special formula, but I really like it. And it performs so good. That silver, as I said, it's so blinding. And yeah, I really need to play with it now because when I look at it, I know it's so good. So yeah, definitely feel like that one is kind of a dupe for that palette. So then we have this palette. I don't own anything from Violet Voss. I have been wanting to try them, but it hasn't been a palette that I was like drawn to. But when this came, oh my god, this is the, let me see here, Sakura Blossom palette. I hope I pronounced that right. If I don't, I'm sorry. This is how it looks. I mean, look at this. This is like a pink, gold, purpley, red, beautiful palette. But I thought, don't I have this? I mean, it's not a unique color story by any mean, but yeah, so that's what I thought I would dupe it out with two palettes that I have in my collection. So the two palettes I'm gonna dupe it out is this one. This is the new one from BH Cosmetics. This is the Sweet Shop Cherry on the Top palette. And look at this. I mean, basically you have almost like half of this palette now. You have this deep dark red, you have this red shade here like a pinky, and this one, and also these shimmers, like nice shimmers, reds and pinks. And yeah, I just think this is an amazing palette. And yeah, I mean, the pinks and the reds in that one, I can definitely have in this one. And then I thought about this Glamite Miracle palette. This is also like a more purpley pink palette, but then you also have these browns as you have in that Violet Voss, and you have like the golds and the bronzy tones. And this one, I mean, if I take like these two together and you can see how they look, I mean, then you basically have this palette, I would say. I mean, Look at that. I think these together makes that palette quite, not 100% dupe of course, but I think I don't need that palette now because I have these shades and I know these two palettes perform so good, so I just want to wait for another palette maybe that Violet Voss gonna come out with that is more unique that I don't have. So that was it, and well, we have some more here actually. We have, let me see here, yeah, we have the Melt palette, the She's in Parties palette. I'm gonna put in a picture, and yeah, I also have duped this out with two palettes I have in my collection, and the first one is actually this one. This is the Urban Decay Naked Cherry palette, and I mean it looks like this, and hopefully you can see that it is quite similar. And yeah, you have this like beautiful dark berry shades, so I will swatch a few of these because I think like the deepest shades in this one will dupe out some of the deepest shades in that palette. I'm not just like swatching, this is just like it's not like 100% dupe. As I said, this is more like a vibe. So here you have some of these from the Naked Cherry palette, and then on the like the lighter side of this palette, if you can say so, I don't know, it is more like a lavender mauve. And then I thought about this Fluttery By from Colourpop, and I think I have the shades in here that will like represent the shades that we have in that palette. So I'm gonna swatch a few more here just to give you like the vibe here, because I feel like we have it. I feel like we have it. Have these like purpley taupey colors and the shimmers. So here I have like the shades that I think is kind of the vibe. Maybe I missed some, but I mean, maybe this one though, but I mean, we have like, oh my god, that was horrible. Horrible swatches, but yeah, you can definitely see like, I'm gonna put like also swatches of the palette, but I just feel like we have kind of the vibe now. And as I said, I feel like I have kind of these shades, and yeah, so I will definitely, I feel like when I swatch these and compare them to palettes I want, these palettes I have become more interested in, and that is good because I have a lot of palettes, believe me, and I really need to use them. And I think this is a good way to like see that you actually have some interesting color stories or things that you may think some things are so new, but they're not. Maybe they're not, because maybe you have them. And yeah, so let's see, do we have, yeah, so we have like one more dupe, and this was the palette I do have. So I'm gonna dupe out like, not dupe, okay, you know what I mean, not the whole palette, but some of the shades. This one, this is the BH Cosmetic Sweet Shop Cotton Candy palette, you know, the new ones, and this is the pinks and purples. And I want to dupe this out. So if you don't have this one, but maybe you have this one, maybe you have the Kaleidos, the Escape Pod. I'm gonna take some of these shades and compare them to some shades in this one, and yeah, you can decide for yourself if you think it's good. If maybe you have this one, you don't need this one, or maybe you want this one anyways. Anyway, I am going to do that. So we're gonna take this one from the BH Cosmetics palette and just like, this is stunning. And then we are going, ooh, now we're all over the place here. Let me see here. And we are going to take this purple here from the, oh, They're so smooth. I mean, as I said, these are not completely dupes, but yeah. And then we're gonna take this confection. Yes, this one. This light lavender one. Just have it here. And here we're gonna take this shade. I really like this shade. It's so stunning. So let's just put it here. As you can see, not 100%, but you know the vibe. Let's take Sugar. This one from the Cotton Candy. And now we're gonna take this one here from Kaleidos. These are very similar actually. And then we're gonna take the pink. So we're gonna take this Carnival, this matte one from the BH. Look at that pigment. Oh my god. And we're gonna take the pink, this Flamingo shade from the Escape Pod. So let's just, I'm so hot. It's so hot in here. It's hot here in Sweden right now. Let me tell you that. I love heat. I mean, I love, but now it's like over 30 degrees Celsius. So that's even too hot for me. And yeah. Anyways, guys, here you have them. I mean, come on. They have the same vibes to it. And I will say the mattes and the shimmers are as good as this one, the Kaleidos one. So if you are like, if you're loving these shades in this palette and you have the Escape Pod, maybe you should think about it, because if you want to save some money. But I can really recommend this one as well. So, I mean, I love that one, but I just thought we had a few shades here that was kind of similar. So, yeah, you have to decide yourself. I mean, these are not 100% dupe, as I said, but I really love when you can see the vibe. I mean, you don't need like 100% dupe. Maybe you have a color that you want, like you really want, but sometimes it's just like the vibe. I hope you understand what I mean. And yeah, I really hope you like this dupe video. And if you did, just tell me down below. You can give me a thumbs up as well, but tell me down below if this is something you want to see in the future. I can definitely do these kinds of videos. I think they are so much fun, but they are a little more like you have to do some research, you have to look through your collection, find the palettes and so on, but I think that is very fun to do as well. So I can definitely see myself doing this on my channel. And yeah, because I love myself to watch that kind of videos, but I don't know what you want to watch. I don't know what you want to see, but just tell me down below if you are interested. And I really hope this helped you. Maybe this helped you, because these dupes video helped me to just like, because all these palettes that I wanted, that I have showed you today, I don't want them anymore, and that's pretty good. That's pretty good, because I have to like slow down a little bit. I mean, I have been crazy lately to buy palettes, but I really want to have the time to use them as well. And as I said, I have some nice palettes in my collection. As I said, I'm gonna pull these out now, I think, to have in my shop my stash for the week. And yeah, because they are so good, and a lot of these palettes are really good. So you just have to see that and remember that, because I can definitely forget that. So it's really good for me to do these kinds of videos. So yeah, guys, as I said, give me a thumbs up, tell me down below if you liked it, and yeah, I really hope I see you in my next video. Take care, guys. Bye.